up, guys? Harry Wilmington here. Welcome back to Stop Losing Women. So, on this show, I give you guys a lot of advice. And ideally, the advice that you're getting is being helpful to you in your journey towards getting better with women. But I want to stress this because I talk about on this show a lot about self-responsibility and making sure that you have yourself straight before going out to date women. And this is very, very important because if your life is messed up in different varieties of ways, which we'll get into in the show, the ways in which you interact with women and the ways in which you view the reactions you're getting from women are going to be colored a certain way. And the way that you're viewing these things may be skewed because of how your life is currently set up. The better your life is set up and the less stressful things you have going on, it's going to be easier for you to get good results with women. But if you're a guy out here that is doing things that unintentionally messes up your life, or you're in a situation where you don't quite have everything together, it's going to be a lot harder for you to date. Now, I know you'll say, but Harry, there's guys out there that like do drugs and do whatever, this and that, and they manage to get women. That doesn't mean that those are quality women. If you want quality women that are going to be there for you and want to stick around for the long haul, ideally, you want to get yourself put together. Because here's the thing, like I said, if you don't have that, then what's going to happen is you're going to be going out there trying to date. And women are going to be giving you negative reactions, and you're not going to be aware that the negative reactions you're getting are because of certain ways that you're talking to them or certain ways you're viewing them because you don't understand what's going on. And yet there are things that's happening in your life right now that's making women react this way. And I'm going to get into why I'm talking about all this because I saw a Reddit post, which I'm actually going to go over on the next show. But for this show, I wanted to show you what this guy's situation was involving a woman he met online. He was messaging her back and forth, and it wasn't going well. And so I want to actually respond to those messages in a different show. But first, I wanted to look up this guy because it was on Reddit, and I wanted to see if he had posted other things involving this particular situation. He hasn't, but he's posted a whole bunch of other stuff that let me know, oh, he has no idea that he's acting this way based on a certain thing that he got into. And then based on how the rest of his life is set up, there's no way a woman would want to come in and try to take him seriously. All right. And so we're going to get into that. By the way, guys, if you want more of my help, you can go to stoplosingwomen.com. Check out the Get Girls Academy. We offer a 3-day free trial. It's my academy that houses all my best programs from how to date, how to do online dating, how to approach women, how to get them out on dates, and everything in between, including how to get into a relationship. So you can check that out for free for 3 days at stoplosingwomen.com. You can also go there to sign up for one-on-one coaching. So I want to take you to the main article that this guy posted up that got me intrigued and enough for me to want to actually answer his question, which I'll do on the next show. So this guy, he posted a thing and he said, "What did I do wrong?" No response after a generally decent, quick conversation. Basically, he matched with this girl online. He had what he considered to be a really great conversation with this woman. I'm going to post this up now for you to see. And so he thought that this conversation was going pretty good. And at the point that he asked her for a date, crickets, silence, nothing happened back, right? So as you can see through these texts, he's trying to have like a generally boringish conversation, which I'll examine in a later show. But so before I tried to answer this guy, I wanted to see what other stuff he posted. And when I did that, guys, if your life is set up like this guy's, you're in a heap of trouble. So the first thing that caught my attention was an article he posted that said, "Mushrooms ruined my life, unfortunately." Short story, 5.5 years ago, he decided to try mushrooms. Prior to that, he had done no alcohol, no weed, absolutely nothing, right? So he decides to try a very high dose thinking that, in his words, I would see colors and feel floaty for a few hours. But instead, he says, I spiraled into derealization, disassociation, and anxiety. So he spent the next 2 years being depressed. And then even now, like 5 years later, he says, it's like I'm reborn every 5 seconds, like my brain is that of a 7-year-old, right? Sucks, there's no cure. I'll be like this forever. I chalk most of my failures since then up to that mistake that day. So Keep in mind, his previous post was about how he had what he thought was a good conversation with the woman, and now she's not responding back. And yet and still, the conversation he thought was good, he probably viewed as good in part because his brain is a little bit kind of messed up from all the mushrooms he took, to where he thinks that this kind of conversation is one that a woman should naturally be attracted to. And within that conversation, he's trying to make jokes. He's insulting her job. Like, he's doing these various things that he thinks should work. And yet and still, that's not what's happening, right? And so I imagine this guy is probably having a bevy of problems as it pertains to getting women because of that life choice that he made, in addition to various other things. So just going through the titles of some of his posts, right? We have, do I still have a chance at 28? I'm basically homeless, but I'm on my way up trying to rebuild everything. He says, struggling to form an opinion ever since I tried mushrooms back in 2020. I've had an insanely hard time trying to be myself. He says, what do I do? My car brakes just went. Grinding hard and full-time Uber driver. Another thing, I'm 27, broke with no home right now. Another post, kicked out $400 to my name and a high mileage Toyota. He says, a family member physically hit me the other day. The cops came, and now I really can't go back to my living space. I was attacked in my house by a family member last night. Old therapist told me that he doesn't think I process things. This one says, girl didn't text back after getting her number, starting to lose hope in dating in general. So he's looking at, in addition, he's got all this stuff going on. He's homeless. He's got family issues. He's had drug issues. And yet and still, this guy will also make posts on Reddit talking about how he said he had, there was one post I saw where he said he had a friend that he's been to jail, he's got tattoos, and girls just flock all over him, whatever like that. Well, that might have just been his luck in life. He could have had all the looks in the world. We don't know his particular situation other than what this guy is telling us, right? But suffice to say, he has several posts now where he's saying, I'm talking to girls, I'm texting them, and all of a sudden they go ghost. I don't understand. Why are these women crazy? I don't know what's going on. And he's not saying that it's him. Like, he's the one that made these decisions that are going to result in him, A, saying or doing things to women that are unattractive, and also his life is set up in a way that's unappealing to women. If we look at the things that women say that they want out of a relationship, right? They want security, they want stability. So does a guy that has a car whose brakes just went out, who just got kicked out of the relative's house, who seems to be pretty much homeless, is that the kind of guy that deserves to have a woman? Now, some of you might say again, but Harry, there are guys out there like that. That is not typically the norm, though. Most women, and especially most sane women who think about things like, I want a house to stay in that's warm, or I want a guy that can drive me to dates or can get me to the hospital if something happens. I want a guy that if I view us having kids together, he's not going to put us in dire straits, or he's not going to go on a drug-fueled rampage where he gets angry and unalives me. So if we're looking at trying to get women like that, then yeah, they're going to be nice to him. They're going to be cordial to him, but they're not going to look at him as a prime date candidate because his life is not currently situated in a way that is going to be appealing to the majority of women out there. And so I say that because, when I'm on here, I give advice to guys, and sometimes they might say like, oh, like I tried a thing and it didn't work, or I did this thing, this girl still ignored me. And I can't just go off of like, you guys do the stuff I say you should do to get better results, and it's going to work, because there's going to be other things that I don't know about. There's going to be things like, are you still living at home with your parents? Are you regularly doing alcohol or weed or going to strip clubs? Or are you regularly hanging out with other guys that maybe aren't the best influence? Or are you going after women that don't have a high interest in you? Like, all these things also matter with regards to when you try to do new things, are they going to work? Your life situation, the things that you're into, the things that you're currently situated with are going to have a big impact, because you could do the right thing, but if you're doing the right moves, but your life is set up in a way that women look at it and they're like, oh, he's a sweet talker. Oh, he makes me feel great. But also, he doesn't have a house. He doesn't have a car. He's not really well educated. He's got no ambition. Then you're going to keep struggling with women regardless of whose advice you follow. So I want you guys to obviously watch the channel, listen to the podcast. I want you to take in the knowledge that I have. I want you guys to call for coaching if you need it to really get a leg up in this whole dating thing. But understand, any advice you get can only go so far. A lot of this depends on the things that you're doing to put yourself in the best light for when women come across you. You have to ask yourself, is a guy that does mushrooms heavily, that has serious mental problems and is homeless going to be a guy that most women are going to try to flock to? And the answer is probably not. So take that in consideration. Beyond just, it's great that you get an education on all this stuff, but also look at what can you do in your life right now to make it look better to women as in a large capacity, so that way you have the better shot at having more women like you than not. Just something to consider. And if you want my help in that journey, you can always go to stoplosingwomen.com. You can sign up for coaching. You can check out the Get Girls Academy. You can go there now and get a 3-free-day trial to see, what it's about, what you like about it. And if you decide that you want to be a full-time member, then it's like certain dollars per month, but like you really will get a better education, and you can quit anytime. Like I don't have like you got to sign up for a year. It's month to month. So if you get in, you like it for 2 months and you decide to quit, totally fine. I just want you to get the knowledge so that way you will have a better understanding of what women want, but also how to position yourself for the most success possible. That's all I got. I'm Harry Wilmington, and I will catch you guys on part 2 of this, where I will actually go over this guy's text and talk about why it is these are not appealing texts to women. So I'll catch you on that one. Peace.